Tonight on the Northwestern News Report, honoring the life of Tyree Nichols, how students painting the rock and hosting a vigil are calling for change.
And look up at the sky, what Evanston residents should know about a stargazing site passing by Earth.
Plus, breaking a sweat, how Northwestern students are hitting the gym not only to work out, but also to instruct.
All that and more tonight on the Northwestern News Report.
It's your news right now. Hello and welcome to the Northwestern News Report. I'm Max Rothfeder.
And I'm Gabrielle Coriati. We begin tonight with news of an alleged forcible sex offense at the Alpha Epsilon Pi fraternity house. Northwestern's Office of Equity and the Northwestern University Police Department received a report yesterday morning. This incident allegedly happened last Friday, January 27. In a statement to NNN, University spokesperson John Yates saying the university takes these allegations seriously and is working with the alleged victim to ensure they are supported, and that, quote, the university also is reviewing the facts of the case to determine if there have been any policy violations by the fraternity. Alpha Epsilon Pi leadership saying in a statement to NNN, quote, we are in contact with the university and national representatives to act according to university and fraternity policy as quickly as possible. NUPD did not respond to NNN's request for comment, but NU's daily campus blotter says the case disposition is now, quote, closed. The chapter says they heard about the report on the social media app Fizz.
After the death of Tyree Nichols on January 7th, Northwestern students and Evanston are reeling from yet another case of fatal police violence. Northwestern students and Evanston residents are honoring the life of Tyree Nichols, who was killed by police in Memphis, Tennessee, earlier this month. Northwestern's Black Student Organization, for members only, painted the rock to raise awareness of police brutality and pay respects to Nichols on Monday. Memphis city officials released the body camera footage showing the beating he endured after being pulled over on Friday. It's causing national outrage and mourning, to which Northwestern is no exception. In a press release, Police Chief Shanita Stewart said, quote, a crisis of confidence is increasing in communities over police use of force, lack of transparency, and what is seen as overly aggressive law enforcement strategies. These actions have upset our social fabric and undermine the confidence in and legitimacy of our police agencies and local governments. This has to change. We extend our condolences to Tyree Nichols' family as they grieve his death.
New security measures are being introduced in Cook County's District 65 schools. That's the school district for Evanston and Skokie. Hall Pass, a background check system at school entrances, will be utilized in all D65 schools. A similar system is already in use at Evanston Township High School, which is D202. Students will also be required to scan a bus card when getting on or off school buses as an additional safety measure. The school system is also documenting all hallways and classrooms to aid law enforcement during an emergency. Shifting now to some campus news, A&O Productions just announced their winter speaker on Sunday. Late-night talk show host, comedian, and NU alum Z-Way is coming to Ryan Auditorium this Friday with comedian Larry Owens as the special guest. The tickets opened up at 3 p.m. yesterday and sold out in around 13 minutes. A&O hosted Z-Way virtually in fall 2020. Now in person, students should expect a musical component and opportunities for audience participation, according to A&O Co-Director of Marketing and Media, Jane Greeley.
The dynamic between her and the crowd, I'm really excited for that. I think it's going to be like a really, really high energy show.
If you didn't get a ticket, there will be a standby line to get into the event.
Northwestern Associated Student Government is conducting a month-long test trial of a new meeting structure starting next week. In this new structure, they're replacing weekly Senate meetings with more targeted meeting agendas. New legislation for this month-long cycle will be due Thursday. Before a town hall meeting next week, students can voice questions, concerns, as well as opinions on the proposed legislation. The following week will be a work week. Then on February 22nd, ASG will hold a regular Senate meeting, followed by a legislation implementation meeting the week after, and this ends with a debrief on March 8th. Senate parliamentarian and CESP junior Dahlia Siegel-Miller says that ASG has been considering these changes for years due to low Senate attendance and bills not getting implemented. The meeting today is all about preparing for this trial. Siegel-Miller says that ASG will make adjustments based on the test and is optimistic that these changes will make ASG a more productive body.
These changes are really focused on those questions of giving senators more responsibility in terms of the implementation process, making sure that we have really strong relationships with different departments at the university and administrators.
Now, after the 4-week trial, if members vote in favor of the structure, it will be implemented permanently.
A rare space event that is written in the stars. NNN's Sabrina Carson takes a look at a comet passing over Earth and is live now outside. Sabrina?
Hi, I am standing outside in the freezing cold where behind me is actually a rare comet. Join me as I take you more into this comet. A once-in-a-lifetime sight can now be seen in the night sky.
This is a comet that this will probably be the last chance that maybe anybody on Earth will have a chance to see this one.
The green comet, officially known as Comet C-2022 E3, is an icy comet just discovered 1 year ago. Now it can be seen in the constellation Ursa Minor, also known as the Little Dipper. The comet's peak is tomorrow and can be seen until late February.
Go to the Big Dipper and you follow it to the North Star, then along the way you'll be able to find the green comet.
To a person on Earth, a comet looks like a shooting star, but it is really
an accumulation of a bunch of ice and dust and rocks, basically a bunch of leftover stuff from the initial formation of the solar system.
Hunter Miller, a public observing educator at Adler Planetarium, says that this comet is a rare treat for astronomers because of the tail's bright green hue.
As it gets closer to the sun, it heats up, and some of those ices melt and the gases that are trapped inside are released. So depending on what kind of gases it releases will change the colors.
But that's not the only thing special about this comet.
If this comet did come visit us before, that would have been 50,000 years ago.
Imran Sultan, a graduate student researcher at Sierra, has spent the past few weeks tracking this comet. He says this might be the last time we see this comet pass Earth, ever.
We think that it might even get kicked out of the solar system.
An out-of-this-world sight that may soon be out of our solar system.
Sabrina, how can Evanstonians see this comet?
Well, the perigee of this comet is going to be February 1st, or tomorrow. Perigee meaning the point of orbit near to Earth. It will be in the constellation Ursa Minor, also known as the Little Dipper. And though it can be a little hard to see from Evanston, just grab some binoculars or a telescope, or even go to a dark site off of Evanston and grab a telescope and stay warm, because this is a rare sight you do not want to miss. Sabrina Carson, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks so much, Sabrina. I'm definitely going to be sure to check it out.
And Medill names graduate Deborah D. Douglas director of Northwestern's new Midwest Solutions Journalism Hub starting next month. The hub is a collaboration between Medill and the nonprofit Solutions Journalism Network. It provides training programs for faculty and staff and is launching a speaker series and newsletter focusing on the best practices in solutions journalism. Solutions journalism provides rigorous reporting about responses to systematic problems.
McCormick professor Daniel Abrams will be co-director of the Northwestern Institute on Complex Systems, or NICO, starting February 1st. NICO was founded in 2004 with the mission of serving as a hub and facilitator for groundbreaking research in complexity and data science. Coming up, engineers expand their horizons, a look at a new opportunity for personal development courses.
And Rest and Renew, how NU Religious and Spiritual Life's Retreat is reinvigorating students' minds during midterm season.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back. What started off as a swing dance class for engineering students is now a set of classes dedicated to personal development. NNN's Paris Franzway talks with the directors about this initiative.
This is the Improv for Engineers class, just one of many non-traditional courses offered by Northwestern's Personal Development Studio Lab.
We believe curiosity is the key quality.
The new Studio Lab is a combination of courses previously offered by McCormick's Office of Personal Development and Siegel Design Institute's popular Design Your Life class.
Create the infrastructure to support that type of development from the start of a student's education.
The curriculum engineered to bring students' career goals into perspective.
They possess the capacity to respond intentionally and courageously when failure is a possible outcome.
And focus on themselves rather than their career or academics.
It's really not all about getting a job. It's also about learning to live the rest of your life.
The Studio Lab also hosts events geared towards the whole Northwestern community.
The kind of thing that will help people to understand, yeah, this is something that's going to be important for me in life.
McCormick's second year Victor Agaba says he enjoyed the courses so much that he's now a peer mentor for PATH, a course giving students strategies for balancing their academics and personal life.
When I have a horrible week, all these deadlines crashing on me, I'll go to PATH, and that will be like the one thing I look forward to because I'll know I have this community.
The Studio Lab plans to expand and will offer a new certificate this fall.
I want to grow it so that it's something that, everybody on campus is thinking, yeah, I want to take some of those personal development courses.
Hoping that the new structure allows all of NU to take advantage of new opportunities.
Paris is here now with me in the studio. So is there any physical space associated with this personal development lab?
Yeah, so right now there is not a dedicated space for it. The classes are being held in the Ford Design building, but as the program grows, especially since they're adding classes and a certificate, there could be a dedicated space in the future.
And so if students are interested in the Studio Lab, how can they get started?
Yeah, so there's a lot of really detailed information about Studio Lab classes online, but they also do have guest speaker events, and these guest speaker events are really geared towards the entire Northwestern community, and it's a really great way for students to dip their toes into learning about the Studio Lab.
Sounds like fun. Thanks, Paris.
You may want to update your weekend plans because a new exhibit is opening in the Block Museum of Art. The Block Museum debuts a new exhibit, The Heart's Knowledge. Its artist, Dario Robleto, explores the emotional weight of scientific discoveries and technological advancements. His art, displayed here, is a multi-sensory experience combining video and sound installations with traditional print sculptures. The exhibit aims to expand conversations around empathy and ethics in the scientific field. The Block Museum will be hosting an opening conversation with Robleto on Saturday, February 4th at 2 p.m. in the McCormick Auditorium in Norris.
Bookends and Beginnings closed their current chapter. The store will be moving locations over the next 2 weeks. They hosted a final call last Wednesday to honor the years they spent in the alleyway store. The move comes after a new landlord more than doubled their rent. Store owner Nina Barrett saying the community that the store has brought together has meant so much to her during their final celebration.
One of the greatest pleasures is how many authors that I didn't know I've had a chance to meet because of the store, because authors do have a way of gravitating into bookstores. And when they think you're not looking, turn their books face out.
Orrington is planning to open next month.
During a busy midterm season, taking a break is often nowhere near students' minds. NNN's Simone Garber follows religious and spiritual life leaders in exploring rest as a form of resistance.
Ringing in a snowy Sunday morning with the music of rest.
Is anybody tired?
Religious and Spiritual Life hosting a rest and renewal themed retreat at Alice Millar Chapel this past weekend.
Rest as Resistance really says, all right, you have a body, you have a mind, you have a spirit. They all work together.
The Welcome Back Brunch was part of the Rest and Renew series that will continue through February, and it featured a variety of food and conversation for the soul.
Envision a world centered in justice.
At a place where and is in our DNA, Reverend Deanna Downing says rest is radical.
It's extremely important for us to remind ourselves that our bodies cannot do this work in research and in scholarship without necessary rest.
Groups breaking off into workshops centered around themes of reflection across multiple religions, from Hindu meditation to the Muslim poetic practice of Rumi. All reminders of the importance of taking a moment away from life's stresses.
Poetry that's universal, right, in the sense like anyone can kind of look at Rumi and say, I relate to some of what this is about.
Religious and spiritual life leaders offering blankets and socks as parting gifts for the cold months ahead.
All of these things I hope that people know are accessible to them and available to them at all times, and that they are worthy of rest.
Bridging the gap between productivity and relaxation, one lyric at a time.
Simone is at the Alice Millar Chapel right now, where she has more information on how to continue these conversations. Simone?
Thanks, Gabby. Yet the Alice Millar Chapel is a place where students of all backgrounds can come together in the spirit of community. The Rest and Renewal Dialogue will continue through February 26th with this theme of rest as resistance at its forefront. You can find more information on the Religious and Spiritual Life website on dates and timing. I'm Simone Garber, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Simone. Coming up, a website revamp for Northwestern IT, how it impacts the user experience.
Into this week's chilly weather.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
In for a chilly week, NNN's Kunjal Bastola is in the studio now to give us a winterful weather update. Kunjal.
Thanks, Gabrielle. It's the beginning of February, which means we are in the midst of winter season here in Evanston, and the weather is only going to get colder. We start this week in the high 20s with little chance of rain or snow on Wednesday and Thursday. This whole week sees wind speeds at a steady pace of around 10 to 15 miles per hour, with the highest expected speed to be at 17 miles per hour on Saturday. Friday looks to be the coldest day of the week, with temperatures swooping to as low as 8 degrees in the morning, so make sure you bundle up for that 8 a.m. You will definitely be attending. There's really only one way to describe the forecast for this weekend, and that is cold.
However, it looks to be a steady cold as temperatures are expected to be around 33 degrees on both Saturday and Sunday, with wind speeds at around 6 to 10 miles per hour and little chance of precipitation, whether you're walking to class, building snowmen with your friends, or trying to catch the bus because it's too cold. Make sure to bundle up and stay warm. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks so much, Kunjal.
Turning now to NU sports, both the men's and women's basketball teams had an electric weekend. The men's team hosted Minnesota this past Saturday, the first game to use the Wild Side's new student ticket request process. They released tickets online last Thursday and sold out in under 15 minutes. The Cats swept the Golden Gophers 81-61. Game highlights included Minnesota missing over 8 free throws, winning the whole stadium free chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A, myself included, and student fan Ethan Gomberg sinking a half-court shot during a timeout challenge game.
I wanted to give the fans a good time, and you know, the program's been really exciting this year. I'm like a huge college basketball fan. Love Northwestern. We had a big lead, so you know, may as well keep them getting rowdy, and was able to succeed in that, so that was fun.
That half-court shot was pretty awesome, and with this win, the men's team moves to 6-3 in the Big Ten. They are now set to tip off in Iowa against the Iowa Hawkeyes at 8 p.m. tonight. That's in just about 45 minutes, and they will host the Michigan Wolverines on Thursday here in Evanston. The student tickets sold out in under 10 minutes. Northwestern's turning into a bit of a basketball school.
And while the men's basketball team is making big headlines as number 2 in the Big Ten, Northwestern's club athletics have also been taking to the court, field, and the pool. Club tennis defeated Indiana, Michigan State, and Notre Dame at a tournament in Indiana. Northwestern Ultimate Frisbee team's Nut and Claw went out to California to compete in a tournament, putting up a valiant fight against challenging competitors like UC Santa Clara, Wisconsin, and Lewis and Clark. And for upcoming events, club swimming faces off against teams across the Midwest at a home meet this Saturday.
Technology impacts everyone at Northwestern, and Northwestern's newly refreshed IT website is officially live after nearly 2 years of redesign. NNN's Ananya Chugh talks to students and faculty to get their opinions on the new site.
A new Northwestern IT website that went live in December is now available for regular student use. The goal for the redesign: service information remaining timely and accurate, and greater community access to Northwestern IT support.
We were able to make our content a little bit more user-friendly. We were able to use the feature of the drop-down menu that the department has.
Some students find the website to be easily accessible.
The new website is really accessible and user-friendly, and the new features look really good.
However, some think the new website's features could be better.
I feel like it's user-friendly. I feel like I could navigate it if I needed to, but I do think it's not aesthetically pleasing, and I just don't like it as much as I like the other websites.
The project was completed in 3 phases, which the team says was helpful to structure what they could get done over the 2-year period. The first phase was research and discovery, the second, optimize and test, the third, generates awareness. Keeping some features and changing others, this plan was aimed at improvements.
We retained our request help button, which is a very quick way for people to get to the service desk to understand what kind of where to go for the kind of help they're looking for.
Ananya Chugh, Northwestern News Network.
And so Ananya is in the studio now. So Ananya, how does this website increase student accessibility to these IT services?
Yeah, so the information services took student and faculty to surveys into account and created a section that is just information just for students. So that faculty and staff would help them get started with using IT services when they first come to the university, and then help them as they continue their career along at Northwestern. The feature of the drop-down menu also has menu descriptions, which uses less technical language, and then it helps people better understand what information they're exactly getting.
Thanks, Ananya.
Collaborating to celebrate how Asian and Asian American student groups work together to ring in the Year of the Rabbit.
Teaching and training what it takes for NU students to be gym instructors on campus.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
get through that. Ah, with our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, spread for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
The Lunar New Year celebrations continue at Northwestern on fostering collaboration between NU organizations. NNN's Michaela Denault stopped by to learn how Asian and Asian American affinity groups came together for the Year of the Rabbit.
Northwestern is home to many Asian and Asian American affinity organizations. 4 of these groups, the Chinese Students Association, Korean American Students Association, Taiwanese American Students Association, and Hong Kong Students Association, hosting together to build relationships last weekend at a Lunar New Year celebration.
One of our first events since COVID and the pandemic that we kind of start to reestablish existing Asian American ties amongst the organization on campus.
Traditional games like mahjong, scallion pancakes, and musical performances help celebrate the Year of the Rabbit. For Hong Kong Students Association President Katia Shek, her favorite part was
teaching some people how to play mahjong just now because it's a complicated game, but they were all trying so hard.
Chinese Student Association External President Hao Lanzan wants to have more events like this in Celebrasia, a yearly Chinese New Year show that expands this group effort.
I think we're trending in a good direction where we're able to collaborate more, but it gets difficult because everybody's so busy with their respective organizations.
For Shek, it was more than just a celebration of the holiday.
It was a really meaningful event to just get together and unite all the different East Asian countries. Yeah.
Michaela Denault, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Michaela.
Henry Crown Sports Pavilion, or SPAC, offers a variety of group exercises to students and Evanston residents. NNN's Magia Medna introduces us to the students, who are the teachers.
To the rhythm of music, barbells are going up and down. Early on a Saturday morning, this body pump workout class is full of attendees.
It definitely was intense at times.
And the class instructors are Northwestern students.
Certified to teach when I was in high school, so I've been doing it for 13 years.
Marchand is an MBA student at Kellogg School of Management. At a younger age, she would go to the gym with her mom.
And she would take me to body pump and body step, and I loved them.
Body pump is a 55-minute barbell workout that exercises all major muscle groups. Marchand says it's a great workout for people of all skill levels.
The idea behind body pump is high repetitions, lower weight.
To become an instructor, Marchand needed to go through training and receive a certificate from international fitness center company Les Mills. But she says it also requires a passion for workouts.
If you love helping other people reach their full potential, you'll make a great instructor.
Marchand isn't the only stunning instructor in SPAC.
I really wanted to be an instructor. So then I asked the, head of fitness and recreation here.
Absar Balamergan had to get a SHRIN certification that allows to become an indoor cycling instructor. Then she started as a substitute teacher, but now she leads weekly cycling classes.
It's very much a cardio class, but it also has certain strength benefits.
Student instructors leading the workout classrooms.
Magia's in the studio now to tell us more. Magia, what should students know if they want to take one of these classes?
So yeah, it's on a first come, first served basis. You just need to show up, preferably 10 to 15 minutes before the scheduled class, to set up equipment and get ready. Both instructors also note that all instructors are there to support you regardless of experience.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Thanks, Magia.
That's all the time we have for tonight.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of the Northwestern News Report.
Stay tuned for Politicat at 8 p.m.
I'm Max Rothfeder.
And I'm Gabrielle Coriati. Have a good night.